Okay, I was impressed with the way they came back to work today, and with a really good mindset, and focused in on what we have to do to prepare for New Mexico State. It was a good practice, and they're in a good frame of mind. And so I think what our kids are excited about is trying to continue to strive to reach their potential, find out where that potential is, and that's what you want out of them. So it's been a good day so far. We got a little more meetings this morning, and then I expect to come out here tomorrow and even have a better day. But encouraged just by the way they came out today and focused and upbeat and locked in. It was a good day. So, Edward, what do you got for me?
Freshman playing time.
Freshman playing time.
How are you kind of managing all that with some of the guys being kind of Under Armour All-Americans, Army All-Americans and stuff, and then coming in here? And
that doesn't matter to us. What matters is what they do, in between these fences and on the field on Saturday. And our number one objective is to our number one objective is to win football games, obviously. And we're going to put the guys on the field each week that we think can help us win football games. I think every week you're going to see different combinations. You're going to probably see different amounts of playing time. Some of those young guys, I think, were a little bit stunned that they didn't get in the game Saturday.
Right.
But we played who we thought at the moment was going to help us win. And I think it's going to be different every week. But we're very pleased with these kids, the way they're coming along, their attitude, their work ethic. I've had to have conversation with a few of them, just explain to them that, the fact that you didn't get to play time on Saturday that maybe you got versus Nevada isn't necessarily a reflection of how we feel about you. It's not a reflection about your work ethic. It's just a reflection of the way the game went. Every game's different, and they have to always be ready. They always have to be prepared to go in there and compete. And it's hard for some of them. It's an adjustment. You said it. These Under Armour All-Americans, these Parade All-Americans, these 4- and 5-star recruits that have never sat on the bench, and then they're sitting on the bench. What's important that these guys start to realize is that it's always going to be about the team first. It's not always an easy lesson to learn, but they're learning it. They are learning it.
Tahan, one of the guys you had to have that conversation with?
Tahan and I had a conversation yesterday, a very positive conversation. He's a competitive kid. He comes out here every day and works his tail off. Twitter, as we know, is the world we live in right now. And for me to ask these kids not to use Twitter would be ignorant, I think. But to use it responsibly, I think is okay for me to ask them to do. And I think that, sometimes we become very reactionary. Heck, you guys know I'm one of the most reactionary people around. So I think that just the fact that I have that experience helps me deal with these kids that sometimes react. And they don't need to put everything out there. But you know what? Sometimes you got to go through things to learn. And that's what college is about. It's about learning. And it's not just in the classroom. It's off the field. It's on the field. It's all around. And they're learning. And he didn't mean anything malicious by it. He's a great kid. He's a good-natured kid. He's feeling a little frustration. And hey, it is what it is. No harm, no foul.
How much you got?
No, I was going to say, you're not expecting us to be responsible with Twitter, are you?
No, you guys can post whatever you want, whenever you want. But I think it's a lesson to be learned. It's a forum to be heard, but you just got to make sure that you're presenting the right message at all times. And it's so easy to type something out, push send, and you never get it back. It's hard lessons to learn, but I think that I know these guys well enough to know when someone's being malicious, someone's being selfish, or someone's just simply being emotional or making a mistake. And like I said, with regards to Tahan, I mean, it wasn't 5 minutes after he posted that he texted me and said, "Coach, I just posted this. I want you to know what I meant." And we had a great conversation. Like I said, he's a really fine young man, and I'm really glad he's here.
How much do you have to police that at all, or remind them that they have to watch what they're saying?
Daily. Daily. That's my responsibility. And it's not just Twitter, it's Facebook, it's being out in the community and representing UCLA. Like I said, they're kids still, some of them. They're young adults. They're not, I know some people don't like it when I call them kids. They're young adults. They're still maturing. There's still a lot of lessons to be learned. This is college. They're still in the educational process. So, I don't mind it. I think it's a real important part of my job, and we're on them. I have kids the same age. I have a kid his age, okay? Exactly the same age, a freshman in college. So I know what's going on in those, I think I know what's going on in their minds. Maybe I don't. So. in the same calendar year. And yet, in talking to him over the last 5 or 6 years that I've gotten to know him, and I've written down all these different quotes he's told me or I've read, everything for him was about team. His ego was about the team winning. And it just seemed like this morning, and I was planning to talk about it anyway, it was kind of the right message for some of those young guys. You know, to realize that it's about the team. And it's not always easy for these kids that have always been superstars, but they're getting it. They're truly, truly getting it. It's fun to watch them get it.
Priest didn't really get much time either on Saturday. What's his development been like? I know he was hurt a little bit.
Yeah, he was hurt. And our corners were playing well. You know, I mean, you can make the argument that Fabian got beat on that touchdown on the pressure, but he was right there. Brandon got beat on the slant and go. We had Brandon in there because we wanted a taller guy. You know, Priest hasn't played yet. He didn't play in the first game because of the shoulder, so we kind of wanted to get him in on special teams. He played quite a bit. He did a good job on the kickoff team. You know, I expect as the year goes on, because he's a talented kid and he gets himself in better shape. Remember, he didn't have the benefit of having the off-season work here at UCLA that some of these other guys did, so he was a little bit behind just in his conditioning. But he's a hard-working kid. He's conscientious. He wants to be a great player. He's a good teammate, and you'll see more and more of Priest Willis.
Yesterday you talked about the concern of an emotional hangover after everything that this team has been through. Are you able to gauge that through practice today, how the guys are doing?
Yeah, I already talked about that. So we addressed that, and we're right on track. Yeah, that was I opened this whole thing with that. So I think I addressed that.
With the secondary, do you feel like I know it's only been 2 games, but have they proven something at all in terms of, you know, that was the spot you were pretty worried about before the season? Have they kind of calmed those worries at all, or is it too early to say?
No, they have. You know, anytime you go out and play and get that experience, I think it's going to build your confidence, and they've actually played fairly well. And like I said, you know, we'll continue to work some of those young guys into the rotation, but you know, I've been impressed with Anthony Jefferson specifically, the way he's played, you know, the way he's tackled and managed things back there, you know, a guy that moved from corner to safety. And you know, I think Ish has played well. Randall's been solid. Fabian is continuing to get better. They're going to have their setbacks at times because they are young and, you know, they don't have a lot of experience, but I think we're making real progress back there. Now, you know, when we get up against a real live passing team, a team that, you know, drops backs and slings it, you know, 60 times a game or 50 times a game, then we'll really find out who we are.
You got anybody like that on your schedule?
I know that we got New Mexico State this week, and I don't even know who we got after that. I think we got a bye, right? We got a bye, yeah.
You said you've known Miles Jackson since he was about 12 years old and seen something special from him. What did you see from him early on, and how much have you seen him grow?
Oh, man. First time I saw Miles, his little brother Jalen and my son Ryder played football together through junior football leagues. And I remember when they showed up from Georgia and Miles showed up to practice up at this place called Wilburton, had on his shower shoes, white socks, gray sweats, t-shirt. I said, how old is that kid? And they said he's like 12, and he's just, you know, already jacked up. And just a really good kid. He's got, you know, his mom, Lasagna, is a good friend of mine and my wife's, and we've known her forever. And I've just seen him grow into a really mature, serious, conscientious young man. You know, he, for a true freshman, is well ahead of the curve in terms of all of those aspects. And then the physical part, I think it's pretty obvious, you know, when we watch him play. He never gets tired. He's quick as a cat. He can run, he can jump, he can anticipate. He's got really good football awareness. And he comes out here and he's a hard worker, you know, and he seems to just get better every single day. And that's when I saw when he was young. And he's always got better. He was a running back then. Nobody wanted to tackle Miles Jack, and, you know, when he's playing for the Bellevue Wolverines, I promise you that.
Well, you said he was going to play offense down the line. Do you see that happening this season, or?
At some point, not yet. You know, right now we just got to let him settle in because he's really playing 2 spots right now on defense. He's playing outside linebacker, and then he plays the dime position in our nickel and dime defenses. So he's essentially playing inside and outside linebacker. And I think right now what's best for us to do is let him concentrate on those things. Plus the way our running backs are playing, you know, I think that Jordan's playing well, and Paul's playing well, and Steven's playing well. Malcolm's coming in and doing some really good things. It's not like we necessarily need to put him over there right now. Okay? All right, thanks.